couple of Wooburg commanders, Sliver Overlord versus Ramos Dragon Engine. We are going to keep that. We've got turn 1 and 2 set up. And we just need to hope to draw into some slivers. Worst case scenario, we just slowly crank our way to a time spiral. And before we get to time spiral mana, I imagine we'll be able to get down our Sliver Overlord. And definitely be able to get some activations off thanks to Training Grounds. Makes activated abilities of our creatures cost 2 less to activate, but it can't reduce their cost to below 1. And Sliver Overlord is Wooburg for a 7/7. Search your library for a Sliver for 3, and then for 3 again, gain control of a Sliver. Yeah, we'll get in for red and green here with the Arid Mesa. And then get ourselves some more mana set up with 3 visits. We'll throw it back over to our opponent. Must remember to get double blue on the board for time spiral. Ramos Dragon Engine is a 6 mana 4/4 flying dragon, legendary artifact creature. Gitaxian Probe, looking at our hand there. Whenever you cast a spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Ramos for each of that spell's colours. And then remove 5 counters from it to add Wooburg twice. Activate this ability only once each turn. Alright, yeah, we can definitely get some stuff going here. Yeah, I'm going to hope that our opponent continues to struggle on mana. So let's just pass it over like that. I don't want a Wheel of Fortune, just in case our opponent is struggling on setting up Wooburg. We are well on our way as it stands now. They might not scoop because they know that we're a little ways off a time spiral yet. But next turn we'll get down our Sliver Overlord, and then we can time spiral after that, exile it. Each player shuffles their hand and graveyard, and draws 7, and we can untap all 6 of our lands. Well, they've got 2 colours in play now, and then Kodama's Reach sets them up nicely, so that's good to see. Might actually get half a game out of our opponent. We've gone for an island onto the field, and an island into their hand as well. That's surprising. I think they get 2 different colours there, but maybe they actually have more lands in hand. So let's grab ourselves a black and blue source here. And then just need to check that we can make Wooburg. That's blue, black, white, green and red. Yeah, that does dictate which land we play, so I'm glad we checked that. We'll go Sliver Overlord. And there we go, down comes the Sliver Overlord. Yeah, not too worried about the Mana Crypt yet, because we can't activate its abilities anyway. Just have to hope that our opponent doesn't have spot removal for it. Oh, actually, that's really annoying. Completely forgot about the Training Grounds. I've been playing Sliver Overlord all night trying to get games, and the first time I've put down Training Grounds, yeah, we would have been able to activate it twice with Mana Crypt, so there's mistake number 1. Yeah, we could have gotten 2 additional slivers into our hand there. That's quite annoying. But we can still get some stuff going. We can go... I mean, we could actually get close to lethal on our opponent if we go for Bonescythe Sliver next turn. Okay, draw 2 cards. Our opponent's just on the drawing and ramping plan. Got down Cultivate and See Beyond. 7 cards in hand. But still not getting down Ramos. Might see it next turn. Yeah, I'm pretty annoyed about not getting down Mana Crypt last turn, but hey ho, that's how it goes sometimes. We will get down the Scrubland, and then no reason not to time spiral, I think. Draw ourselves a fresh new grip. Our opponent's got 7 cards in hand, so I don't mind doing this at all. Alright, and then we've got the Blur Sliver, which gives haste. That's good. Yeah, I think we'll go for the double strike. That's the Bone Scythe Sliver. And we'll just attempt to get a pile of damage onto our opponent here. That's, what, 18 damage? 14... yeah, 14 commander damage. If they get hit by our commander again, then they're going to lose the game. How much damage was that? That was 14, and then 4, 4, 8. Oh, that's 22, isn't it? Peer through depths. Looking at card, yeah, looks like they're searching for a board wipe. They haven't gotten into black and white mana, surprisingly. Yeah, and they just scoop at that. I mean, it's not really much of a game to show you for Ramos, but it does show you how explosive Sliver Overlord can be if you don't deal with it straight away, especially with the Bone Scythe Sliver. I mean, that thing can really pile some damage onto your opponent. And even if your opponent has some means of blockers, we can make Slivers unblockable, we can give them flying, we can make them uncounterable. We can protect ourselves from wraths by paying 2 life per Sliver and bouncing them back to our hand. Obviously, Gemhide Sliver is looking to develop mana for us. Metallic Mimic makes our Slivers stronger. Crystalline Sliver is a Sliver that I often go for in this deck, especially against, well, that would obviously be against decks that are heavy on targeted removal. Gives all our Slivers Shroud. But if we have any chance to get a fast win off on our opponent, then the typical line of play is Bone Scythe Sliver. And the double strike on a massive 7/7 commander is often all we need to get the win off. So hopefully you all enjoyed that. That was Sliver Overlord versus Ramos Dragon Engine. I'm tribalkai on the EDH channel. Thank you for watching. Sliver Overlord versus Damia Sage of Stone. 0 land hand. No problem with a mulligan on that. 1 land in Wooburg, not good. Mulligan that as well. Well, we've got some ramp at least. Well, there's more ramp, and we get to draw into that next turn, so yeah. Got some acceleration, but it's still not the greatest. Damia Sage of Stone tends to be a control build. Let's, yeah, we'll just shock in a breeding pool. Go for Sol Ring, followed by Felwar Stone. Felwar Stone will tap for any colours that our opponent's lands can produce, which will be Sultai sooner rather than later, I imagine. Damia Sage of Stone is a 7 mana Sultai commander, 4/4 with Death Touch. Skip your draw step, but at the beginning of your upkeep, if you have fewer than 7 cards, then you draw equal to the difference. And the Sliver Overlord is a Wooburg 7/7. 2 abilities for 3 generic mana a pop. Gain control of a target Sliver, or search your library for a Sliver and put it into your hand. Yeah, I think we have to Nature's Law here. And then we'll Marsh Flats. And then we'll get down the Shifting Sliver. Had to mulligan down a fair bit, so I've emptied our hand pretty quickly, but that tends to be what we do in this deck anyway. Next turn we'll be going for the Sliver Overlord. And unfortunately won't have the mana held up. Is this Elf Tribal in Damia? That seems like a strange commander to choose for... Oh well. Let's go for... Yeah, we can just go for the Sliver Hive here, I think. And then green, blue, black, white, and red. That gets us into the Sliver Overlord, and like I was saying before, if we had another mana held up, which is preferably the conditions that Sliver Overlord would come down onto the board in, we'd be able to activate the top ability there. Not to worry, we can do it next turn. Probably go for Crystalline Sliver, which will give our Slivers Shroud, just in case our opponent has a, what's it called, Beast Within, or Song of the Dryad, something like that. Okay, Green Sun Zenith for 3. Might be Reclamation Sage, I'm not sure. Will not trigger the Beast Whisperer because this is whenever you cast a creature spell, you draw a card. And Green Sun Zenith doesn't count as casting a creature. Okay, going for Elvish Harbinger. I think there's a combo with Nettle Sentinel, isn't there? What's it called? The elf that allows you to tap 3 untapped elves for 3 mana. Yeah, they might be going for that anyway. We'll soon find out. With the Elvish Harbinger, they can search their library for an elf, reveal it, and put that card on top of it. No, not the card I was thinking of. Tap 2 untapped elves you control to add 1 mana. Yeah, that's a similar effect anyway. Still goes well with Nettle Sentinel. Whenever you cast a green spell, untap it, but it doesn't untap during the untap step. It's a 2/2 for 1 mana. Oh, Cyclonic Rift. Yeah, that's pretty obnoxious. What have we got? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I think we have to go for that if our opponent's trying to set up some kind of combo. Well, we'll swing in first. And we'll leave it until our opponent's turn, because we might decide that we just want to activate Sliver Overlord and get down Bone Scythe Sliver, which will give our Slivers double strike and allow Sliver Overlord to get commander damage off on our opponent next turn. Okay, I'm just going for card draw. Glimpse the Unthinkable. Yeah, even if they recast these creatures, they're still going to get the mana. I'm going to get a lot of card draw here. Birchlaw Rangers. We'll draw a couple of cards. One from Beast Whisperer and one from Glimpse of Nature. And they're up to 4 cards in hand. And they can tap their elves for mana, thanks to Birchlaw Rangers. I'm half tempted to let them do whatever they need to do here, because worst case scenario, they just dump a Crater Hoof or something like that onto the board and try and swing in and we Cyclonic Rift. But I would rather get down our Bone Scythe Sliver little combination for commander damage next turn, just to show you the type of things we can do in this deck. They're going for Damia here. They're adding Sultai mana anyway. No, going for Rashmi, Eternity's Crafter. Definitely looks like a Sultai elf build. Nettle Sentinel will untap, which means our opponent can tap down Rashmi and the Nettle Sentinel for 2 more mana. Bump them up to 5. They could just play out Dorks here. Oh, more mana with Sol Ring. The more Dorks they play out, the more card draw they get, thanks to the Glimpse the Unthinkable and the Beast Whisperer. Elvish Guidance. Enchants a land. Yeah, that's... Oh, what's that? Additional green for each elf on the battlefield. Wow, I've never seen that before. Okay. Have to be wary of all these cards. Our opponent's down to 2 cards in hand. Imperial Seal. That puts the card on top of the library. Alright, just going to grab something other than Bone Scythe Sliver before we get going here. We're going to grab ourselves the Flash Sliver. Haven't really shown you much of the slivers. You can have a look at the deck list in the description if you're interested, but it's not exactly a spiky build. Quick Sliver, I think it's called. Yeah, that's the one with Flash, so we can get that one down, because obviously it has Flash. And then we'll untap, and Gale Rider Sliver is just more evasion for us. We'll activate the Sliver Overlord and search for the Bone Scythe Sliver, which is the sliver that's going to win us this game. Yep, there we go. Sliver's double strike. Our opponent scoops to that. Didn't even let us swing in after we sat through them doing all that. But yeah, Boneside Sliver gives all of our slivers double strike, which means that Sliver Overlord would have bumped them up to 14, then 21 commander damage. The fact that it's a 7/7 works out quite well in that regard. As you can tell by this game, we just need to hit them once, and then hit them with double strike, some kind of evasion. We just so happened to get into Gale Rider Sliver, which means that we were probably winning either way there. But yeah, that is Sliver Overlord. Must be sure to let me know if you want to see more from that. Was requested by a few people in the comment section, so decided to throw one together. Like I say, it's not a spiky build or anything like that. This is just a fun little janky commander for those jank lovers out there. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed it. I'm tribalkai on the EDH channel. Thank you for watching.